WT slaying.
Salama family, salama. How y'all doing today? I hope you're blessed and highly favored. We have back with us today brother Erick and his wife Nicole. Welcome back on Tail Ministries, family. How y'all doing? I think we have a little lag. How y'all doing?
Thanks for having us back.
Wonderful.
We're doing good. Thank you for having us back.
Absolutely.
Anytime, family, anytime. So, how does it feel escaping Babylon?
Oh my God. I'm gonna let my wife go first. Go ahead.
It's amazing. I feel it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's nothing that I can't even put into words what I describe. I'm just grateful. I'm thankful that that the Most High allowed us to get here. Number one, safely,
Absolutely.
and that we made it, despite all the challenges that we had to endure to get here. But we made it, and so I'm grateful.
Brother Kobo, for me, man, the way that I can describe this is, talks about in Philippians a peace that surpasses understanding. We're talking about a freedom that I felt. I can't even really put it into words. I mean, I can reference that scripture, but it's just a peace beyond comprehension, beyond articulation. It's amazing.
So I hear a lot of people state when they get off the plane and they step on the continent of Africa, there's like this spiritual experience. Did you all experience that?
I'm experiencing it every day.
Every day. Absolutely.
Not just, I was so tired when I got off the plane, but when I just took a breath and just realized that I'm really here, because this is my first time ever even, coming to Africa. So, some people come to visit and have been here before, but this is all brand new to me. And so, just from my understanding and what I've learned within the last couple of months and just throughout the last year or so, it became so real to me. And I had that experience. I was just sharing earlier that today I was down at the beach and I just looked at just how beautiful it is here and just how we've been missing this all along. This is our home.
Yeah.
And we've been made to believe that it wasn't, and that this wasn't, the place that is as beautiful as it really is. But I have that experience every single day. And I don't know how long it's going to stay. It's going to remain. I believe that.
So, as for me, I think, as I've been teaching lately, that I think, sub-Saharan Africa and maybe even parts of most of Africa is really Israel. I believe that Israel is where the people were. And that little strip of land over in the Middle East that they have was the one that the fake Israel. Right. What's y'all thoughts? Because just think about it. As big as Israel was with the 12 tribes and God said they were going to be, so numerous that you couldn't count them. How could that land over there have been it? What's your thoughts?
It couldn't contain them at all. It's grossly too small to contain that many people.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I noticed on your channel, you all had a hard time because you had to go get tested, right? For the Rona in order to get out. Can you tell us what that experience was like?
Oh man. Can we digress just a little bit and just come just a little bit back from that point, we've had to jump through hurdles and all kinds of things, from passports to my wife had to change her name so that everything matched, because we realized that they were holding people back for small technicalities like that. So we sent off for passports for our children and for hers to be changed. And they were telling us actually at the passport place, you're probably not going to get this back until about 5 or 6 months, because there's a backlog. So to make a long story short, we got my son's passport in 30 days after applying for it. We got rejected for my daughter's, we did what they asked us to do, and we got that back. And literally, the week that we were supposed to leave, my wife's passport came, like days before we were supposed to leave.
Yeah.
So that made things complicated, because we were trying to get it in enough time to turn the visas around, but then discovered that we could get the visas on this side.
Yeah.
So then the corona, they promised us that we would be able to, first they tried to charge us $1,000, to get the corona test in the time frame that we needed to get it in. And so that was a 72-hour time frame. So we had to pay $1,000, and the Most High, man, a week before that happened, we were able to find a place where we could actually take the test for free.
For free, yeah.
So we saved $1,000 on that, and they promised us that we would get it in 48 hours. We got to the place, and I got a text on my phone saying they just started testing for it.
And we were at the airport.
We were at the airport ready to go, and they rejected us because we couldn't get the results. And so we rescheduled, and the next day, and we had the test results came 3 hours after we were supposed to leave. So it was definitely emotionally draining. Yeah.
So once you got your passport, any other obstacles before you were able to get on the plane?
Well, the bags. You want to tell them about that?
Well, we had to throw a lot of things away. Let me just say that I try to pack as lightly as I could, because I know we were planning on shipping most of our things, the things that we didn't sell and the things that we just wanted to bring with us. We were going to ship those things with us, ship them. But what we tried to take in our bags, it was over the amount. So
that was a weight. It was 50 pounds or less.
Yeah, and so we were at the airport, which was kind of good. It worked out that way. I mean, unfortunately, we had to throw some good things away, but we were able to just make sure that everything weighed so that when we went back the next day, we wouldn't have to go through all that we went through prior. So that was within itself it was kind of challenging, and we had to waste waste time just trying to make sure that we had that part of it together. But another issue that we had was when we got our test back and we went back to fly out the next day, they were really trying to stop us, because the lady that worked for the airline, she was looking at the test, and she was like, well, I'm sorry, we can't take this test because you were supposed to, this will be expired by the time you get to, I think we were flying into
Brussels.
No, to Turkey.
Okay,
we were flying into Turkey. So she said that they were going to request for our COVID test, but by the time we got to Turkey, it would be expired. So we told her the situation, and that we were here all day yesterday, the day before that. And so she, hesitantly, she acted like she didn't want us to go, but she had no choice.
Hey man, I was tapping into that spiritual dimension. I was praying under my voice. I was like, in the name of Messiah, by Hashem,
So we let us go. She let us go. She couldn't stop it. And then, what was trying to work for us actually began to work for us. Work against us was actually work for us, because they became like so helpful in everything that we needed. It just turned. And so we were blessed, to be able to make it and take and then even with the flights, they wanted to change. They didn't have any flights. We stood there for at least a whole hour just looking for flights because they were trying to make us go on the 24th. And we were like, no, there got to be another flight. So he worked through it, and here we are.
And the trip to Turkey actually ended up being a 2-day trip.
It did.
And I was like, man, I don't care how long we have to be on a plane, as long as we can get out of here.
Yep, get me out.
Get me out. Get me out.
So I've been of the opinion that this whole Rona thing was to stop the awakening and stop the exodus. What's your thoughts?
I feel like definitely. I think that they had a lot of things planned. I'm really realizing how crafty they are and really knowing the prophecy a lot better than our people. You know, I think it's because of that they've been able to strategize so well and put on this fiasco with the election and everything that's going on. They're really just trying to get people so trapped in the fear that they're paralyzed and they don't know what to do. So I am of the same opinion.
So did you all get to see the conjunction yesterday of Jupiter and Saturn in Africa?
No,
we didn't. We've been so overwhelmed to be here. I'm just trying to get settled in and get a place, a permanent place. Because when
are you all in the Airbnb?
No, we are not in the Airbnb. We are actually in what they call over here a guest house. It would be equivalent to a hotel there, and it's pretty expensive. So that's why we were trying to get out as quickly as we can. So we paid for 2 weeks, and we finally found a place that we're going to reside in until we purchase our land and those kinds of things.
Now, didn't you all know someone down there already?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
In the Gambia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the arrival, right?
Absolutely. Our cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was his name again?
Kenny.
Kenny, that's it. Kenny. So did you hook up with Kenny and his wife?
Yes,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So what did they say when they first saw y'all?
Oh, it was like a kumbaya moment. It was like, we will never part. It was amazing, man. Just to
That's
be
good.
able to welcome by somebody that was our relative. So it was good.
So I know Kenny bought some land already out there. Did you all get a chance to go see it?
We did.
Absolutely. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we did. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It is.
It's spacious in a great place.
Mm-hmm.
And they're moving along. They got the borehole already dug. And now getting ready to start, clearing the land for foundation and all of those things. So it's a very exciting time.
Do you all plan on looking in that area for land?
We are really, man, seeking the Most High because He's given us specific directions and instructions as it relates to what we need to be doing here. And so it's really going to depend on if we can find a place where we can accomplish what it is that He's called us to do.
So can you tell the family what that is?
Yes. Actually, man, He wants us to create a community that will be prepared to receive our people in, because He's going to deliver everybody that wants to come. So what He's instructed us to do is to set our minds to do that. And it is amazing what He's done in just these 2 weeks to confirm that He really said that.
So when it comes to that, is it like when you say set it up, I mean, is it like for instance, there's a woman I was talking to, I had to reschedule the interview with her, but she's in Tanzania and it's called the Exodus House. And she's not a believer, but she's building a place for the diaspora to come to help them transition into Tanzania. Is that sort of what you all believe the Most High has called you to do, something similar?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only has He called us to do that, as soon as we touch ground in 2 weeks, He put the resources right in place for us to do that, just confirm it. Like, for example, we are actually opening up a new property company tomorrow morning with a local Gambian here who's already into property, but we are establishing to be able to actually offer land to those that are coming in at a cheap price. And he owns hectares and hectares of land. So the connection that he's allowed us to be able to have with them, that they want to work with us, you know, in partnership 50-50 to make that happen, just confirms that the Most High is with us. Then also we partnered with a resort. It's a small resort. It's like 13 rooms, but we're able to now pick people up from the airport, bring them to the resort, transition them from the resort into a temporary place, help them get their land. I'm talking about full paperwork, legalized everything, and then help them build their homes. And so the reason why we were hesitant to just pick any place, because we want to be in that community, obviously, to help people build their dream homes and, you know, and settle.
Thanks for the gift, Brother Bruce. So this particular message right here, I've heard of this as well. Have you all heard about this white guy coming there, trying to basically kick 22 families off their land because years ago or something, he purchased this and under, I think it was Yahya or Jammeh, whatever his name was, the former president, he didn't allow it to go through. Have you all heard of this?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
We
heard
haven't
of
heard
that.
of that. We haven't heard of that
Wow.
at all. We've heard of people just coming in, purchasing land like crazy. I mean, they're coming in by the floods, you know, and they're purchasing land with no problem. Because the company that we're working with is called Mama Land Properties. And this particular company is going to be making sure that everything is where it needs to be. They're actually talking to the chiefs, making sure that the paperwork is, in fact, they won't go through if it's owned by someone else. You know, so we've not heard of that, but we don't want to deny that that's going on. But we just don't know.
Okay. Thanks for the gift, contending for the faith. So here's a question. Erick and Nicole, great music. What are your plans if some African nations, to include Gambia, let the West bribe them into making the vaccine mandatory?
The same plans we had if we were in the United States, not taking it.
Not taking it, you know. We bought supplies. My wife was looking at me so crazy, Brother Nicole, because I was buying, you know, solar panels, I was buying flashlights.
Oh, he was ready to go to the wilderness.
We was ready to go to the wilderness in the States.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in case martial something broke out, man. We, you know, man, I've watched 7-8 months worth of YouTube videos on how to survive in the wilderness.
He drilled us.
You know, just preparing my family, you know, to be prepared for whatever takes place. So we had a plan. If we didn't make it out, we had a plan if we made it out.
Yeah.
So there was there was I think it was, I don't know the titles, like a local governor or something like that in Gambia who was warning his people not to sell their land to the diaspora. Have you all heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
I did hear about that. I did hear that it wasn't any truth to that. Just looking at one of the videos, and there was confirmation that wasn't true.
Yeah. What it is basically is, and I'm gonna speak in code on this. What they're trying to do is make sure that the land is reserved for the people that it rightfully belongs to, because others are coming in and buying up so much land.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, so really he's with us. He's not against us. The guy who supposedly made the comment, he's not against us. He's with us, you're saying?
He's not against. He's with us. I'm confirming that. He's with us.
Okay. All right, cool.
He's not against us. But
great.
Just, you know, without me really just throwing it all the way out.
I understand what you're saying. I understand. I think the family understands. Yeah, we take care of family, right?
Right, absolutely. And that's what we've seen here. Like, Never
my
seen it
goodness.
before.
It's been beautiful. When I tell you, the people have been just so gracious, so helpful. They just want to see you succeed. They encourage you. They help you. Anything you need, they're available. I mean, it's just when they said it's the smiling coast, it really is. Very warm and welcoming.
Yes.
So thank you for the gift, AM Stone. So when it comes to our people out there, right, and you know, the as they say in East Africa, I don't know what they call them in West Africa, the Mzungus. When the Mzungus come in, right, what's to stop them from forcing their will? Like, for instance, I know the United States government a lot of times would try to force things on these nations, like the acceptance of certain lifestyles in order to get money. Now, so far they haven't, fell to that, right? They push back. But there's other things that, like, for instance, some of the nations are going along with the whole Rona vaccine, right? So I know that Magufuli in Tanzania, he's not for that stuff, right? Now, I don't know what the political situation is like in the Gambia, because I mean, my understanding right now is that the Gambia, they're wearing masks, right? When they go in public? Oh, they're not?
No. I mean, you wouldn't even realize Corona was here unless you went into a government, like a bank or a government building, because they're wearing masks in there. But as far as
just the locals,
nobody's wearing masks, man. We walking around 2 weeks with no mask at all, unless we walk in the bank, and they allow me to walk in the bank without the mask.
So when it comes to the following politics out there, I don't even know what the language is in the Gambia, but is it easy for you to keep abreast of local politics and laws, or is that sort of difficult since, you all speak English and I don't even know what the language is in the Gambia?
The language, I believe, is Wolof. I think that's the main language.
Well, the main one is English.
That's second.
No, what I mean by the main language, the language they use to communicate across the board is English. But you do have Wolof, you have a couple other dialects as well. Right. I think the tradition, just from working with my business partner, is they do a lot of their own language when they're dealing in business, but just casually, they're speaking in English.
And so, no, it's not hard to kind of stay abreast or to follow up or get an understanding of what's really going on, because most speak English.
Because one thing, I don't know if you all saw my show on the Great Reset. The Great Reset is a global effort, and I have no idea what the African continent is trying to do in terms of that. Now, most of the world, we know the European world and some of the Asian nations are going along with that New World Order agenda. My gut feeling would say that because of the way Africa is in terms of, taking care of one another, I would think they're not, not to include South Africa, because I know they're gonna go along with it, but most of them just don't sort of lean that way. What's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is what I see and what I hear is that the chiefs are breaking down crying, that the Most High has talked to them, and they have been waiting for this moment to happen. So all over Africa, people are raising up and doing what they can to receive us back. You have the Wakanda Project. You have another project that's going on in Senegal. You have Ghana, openly saying that they're giving away land to people who are coming back from the diaspora all over. All I see is a coming together of the people, and it's just confirming more and more that the great exodus is taking place.
Yeah, and I heard that Sierra Leone, if you have Sierra Leone in your DNA, you can go get citizenship. Have you heard about that?
Wow.
I haven't
Wow.
heard about that.
Wow. I'm not surprised. I haven't heard about it, but I'm certainly not surprised because we're hearing stories like that all the time, you know, even from the locals.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that they're working on, there's another YouTuber, I believe, that's very heavily involved in trying to make sure citizenship, whether that's dual citizenship or just citizenship for us that are coming back, that they get something in place for that.
Here in the Gambia, actually.
Yes.
Thank you for the guest, Naomi. So one thing I would like to know, and you know, I know you all haven't been there very long, is, you know, I know they've been talking about the African Union. Now it seems to me that since that guy, I don't know his name, became, you know, the head of the African Union, nothing really has been moving forward. Now, you know, I know Chiambori, Dr. Chiambori Quao, I think it is Quo or Quao. She was trying to become the head of the AU, but you know, they got an issue with women being in charge apparently. So
I did hear about
is there a way that the diaspora can be an influence in the African Union? Because you know, the way I feel about it, if they came together and say, look, we want our people to come home, America couldn't stop us. If they opened the doors, we all could leave, right? Is there a way for us to, you know, become more influential in that aspect?
That's been my prayer. I really would love to see us come together with, you know, with our people and just make things happen, you know, because I know together, you know, there's so much that we can do. There's so much power within our community. We just don't realize it to the fullest if we came together like that. And I think the division has been for so long that now the mindset is beginning to change. And once we get on the same page and we understand who truly the enemy is, then I think that's going to empower us to work together and make things happen.
I wanted to say that what we're doing right now with the locals, to me, is Yah's doing. And I believe that, you know, we are in the, I heard Kenny say something that blew my mind. And it just registered in my spirit. He said that we are in the 114 zone. You know, now that the curse have been lifted, we're in the 114 zone. Deuteronomy 28, verse number 1 through 14. You know, we've experienced the curse.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, the blessings starting to come back.
Blessings are starting to come back. And part of that is us coming together as a people, because one of the curses was that we would not really even be a nation, you know. And I took that to believe that we would not work together because, you know, in the States, man, basically, you know, they create scenarios where they hold everything away from you, throw one thing out there and everybody fights for it because we hadn't had anything. But now that we're coming back, I cannot tell you everything that we've been able to accomplish in 2 weeks by the power of the Most High has been effortless. Absolutely. And so I think it's going to be like that across the board with us working with our brothers and sisters here.
So let me ask you, what made you all choose the Gambia? I know Kenny and was out there. Was that one of the main driving forces, or were there other reasons?
You want
well, I initially, my mind and my heart was set on Tanzania. And I think I thought of that place because I was thinking of the children as well. It's a little bit more progressive, if you will, and you know, looking at the schools and different things like that. But you know, coming to another continent, you want to make sure that, you know, we know that the Most High is with us, but we also want to use the wisdom that He's given us as well. So we wanted to be in a place where that we had family close by, and then from this place, as the Most High leads us, if we needed to go somewhere else, then we were open to do that. So we're not limited to the Gambia, but we wanted to come here first. And of course, with research and knowing everything that took place within this area, this was also important for us to stop here first. So we don't know. We this may not be just our last stop. We may move forward further. I don't know, east. I don't know. But you know, we're just open. We're open to wherever he leads us.
So with the status of let's say the state of the world, right? Right now, the state of the Western world, America, and the European nations and some of the Asian nations, is mask wearing, huge restrictions. They say they're not going to force us to get the vaccination, but they're saying, okay, well, in the future, you may not be able to go to the bank, you may not be able to go to the store, you may not be able to do certain things, buy, trade, or sell, right? Sound like the mark of the beast. Even though my position is, it's not the complete mark of the beast, it's a phased approach to it. That's my opinion. But in Africa, I know South Africa is like, still European control. Them in Kenya have huge influence of Britain and things like that. But the rest of Africa, do you see them going in a different direction? Because I mean, I know, I keep an eye on Tanzania because that's where I'm thinking of going, right? I think Gambia, since it's so small that it's that land gonna be gone by the time I get there. So do you see what was that?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna fill up quick.
Yeah, it's gonna fill up
I
quick.
can see it. You know what? And they're really doing a lot of renovations and just structuring the place. And I'm excited about the future of the Gambia because it's really coming together. So I know a lot of people have talked about coming here. So you need to either come quickly or
Yeah.
or just stick with Tanzania.
Let me ask you, is it possible to get some of that beach property, or is that already bought up?
No, actually, with the business that we started, we have a lot of beach property. A lot of beach property available.
Seaside.
So y'all bought the land already, or what?
No, the partner that I'm operating with has hectares of land, both on the side and in rural areas as well as in the city limits.
So I'm really trying to be by the seaside, but we're gonna see what he talking about. Where the country part is at, but we'll see.
I honestly want to be off grid. I don't want to be anywhere where I'm dependent on water from the government, power from the government.
I agree.
In fact, this is what I pitched to my wife. I don't know whether I'll be able to convince her, but I want to do a yurt.
Oh, I'm
myself.
with that.
If I can do a yurt, it just reminds me more of how my people lived when we were in the desert coming out of Egypt.
So
a yurt.
You say, what is that? Can you explain?
Sure. A yurt is it's spelled YURT, and it is a round structure, almost like a teepee, but it's modern and kind of up to date, and they're very cheap. And if you wanted to move to another place, you could actually break the whole thing down and move to another place. It's sturdy like a house. It stands up against the weather. Actually, if you go to Pacific Yurts, it's a company in Canada that'll ship it to you anywhere in the world.
So is it almost like a big igloo? Like in Alaska, like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But just more modern,
and they're beautiful.
Absolutely.
So who will put that together if you got it shipped in from Canada?
We would do it ourselves.
Okay.
Hey, we've been on YouTube. We can learn how to do it, but we can do some people, to get it done. But it wouldn't
and it doesn't take long.
Right. It only takes about 2 weeks to put up, 2-3 weeks, and you're good.
Yeah. So have you all met?
So my dream is to have a community of those yurts.
Oh, okay, cool. Have you all met the Bag family yet?
No,
we have not.
We haven't met anyone yet.
We're just taking it. I haven't met anybody
because he's been out a lot more than myself. But
I've been out handling business, trying to get a place solidify for my family to stay. And that's been my main focus. I'm going to connect with everybody here, but my plan was as soon as I touch ground, I'm not going to have any kind of fun or socialize until I get a place established.
Yeah.
So that's been my plan.
And we've been more getting to know the locals and just trying to learn the culture and just learn what they do, and so that our kids can get acclimated and we do as well.
Right. And trying to hear the Most High and not get caught up in the fanfare of everything as well.
Yeah.
So when you all go shopping, do you go to the the markets that's on the road, or do you go to like a central store like here? Where do you get your food?
Well, we went to a couple markets, to get fruit, vegetables, those kinds of things. But we've also gone to stores, and the food is very different. We just found out about a Target that's here in the Gambia. So
yeah.
The children got excited about that because they've been struggling in that area, which makes it more difficult on us.
Me and the children.
Absolutely. So yeah.
But as
so do you get your fruits and vegetables from the market, but do you get your meats from Target? Is that how it works, or what?
No, for me, I haven't been eating meat.
So the grocery store or the market that we went to, it's kind of like it puts you in the mind of like a Dollar General, but they have it's small, but they have meats in there as well. So I think I just got like chicken from there and like some little frozen pizzas and different things like that. But I haven't been to the butcher or the meat market or anything like that yet. But majority of the things that we got them on the street, which was the fruits and the vegetables. And so that's what we've been really been eating lately. Just a lot of fruits and vegetables, fish and chicken.
And I'm not eating meat. So
yeah, so he's been doing the fruit and the vegetables, but myself, we've been doing the fish and chips, what they call them now, or fish and chicken.
Okay. So did you decide to do that to become you're a vegan or you're a vegetarian? How would you classify yourself now?
I really don't know, man. I just know I don't want to eat meat anymore. My wife and I, we were talking about that a few years ago, and we just went cold turkey with no meat for a year and a half, and I felt great in my body. I felt clear. I could lay down for 3 hours and feel like I slept 10 hours. So I wanted to go back to that, mainly because I seen some meat just hanging up outside.
Oh yeah, he can't see stuff
with
like that.
And they were selling this meat.
Yeah, with flies on it and stuff like that.
And I was like, no. So that helped me to go back to not eating meat, So although they do sell packaged meat.
So would you consider that then a potential business opportunity for anyone who comes to the Gambia to, basically have a meat processing plant?
For me, probably not. I want
for somebody to come into
for somebody else. I think that would be great. Yeah, that would be great for somebody to come, and they would do extremely well. And a lot of, this land has so much opportunity. So much opportunity. You can
Every day I can think of something else that anybody can come and do. You
can come in here and make ice. Just start an ice company.
Yeah.
And become a millionaire.
Yeah. It's just
now,
so
one of the
much.
things. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying there's so many things that you can do here. It's just the land of, this is truly the land of opportunity. And passion, any desire, anything that you enjoy, skill that you enjoy doing, you can put all of that to work here and be free doing it. It's really good.
Yeah, so one of the things, I would like to see on the continent is for us to become self-sufficient. Like I noticed, just watching the Bag family, there's issues with getting new tires, new parts for vehicles. things like that. And, yeah, you can get them from, the Western nations, but we don't want to be dependent upon them, right? We want to cut them off at some point, and so that would be
Oh,
good
yeah.
if we could get some of the family who have money, who could go build up the
Right.
manufacturing and the processing plants and all that stuff. I mean, we could do this stuff overnight with the money the diaspora has, be honest.
I agree. I told my husband, I said, what I wanted to start doing is every time we think of something, like if we're in need of something, every time we think of that, we need to write that down and then look and, and put it out there to see if anybody's interested, anybody wants to invest in it, anybody wants to do something, especially for those that are coming back. If you can want to invest in something or you want to build a community for our people, then there's so many things that you can invest in. And sometimes people just don't know. And you won't know until you're actually here on the ground to see what's needed. Because, just the things that we take for granted and the things that we just, so naturally just have at our fingertips, you can't find that here. And sometimes it's just like, wow, I didn't think that.
It's humbling.
It really is humbling.
Very humbling to see how people live, but still happy.
Yes.
Still inviting, still trying to help people.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's just a sense of community. It really is.
So let me ask you this, and this is more of a speculation question. Based upon your, spiritual discernment and biblical understanding and being on the continent and seeing what's happening, how big do you see the awakening on the continent? Because we see in the US, we see in the UK that, the awakening of Israel is pretty vibrant, right? How is it on the continent to them realizing who they are?
Every person, honestly, every person that I've come in contact with that, we just met or just walked by, they stop and they'll come to us and talk to us and say, do you know who you are? Welcome home, brother, sister. They'll just invite us and they know who they are. They know who we are. They said, one person said, it's about time that you came back. And that to me was it was so refreshing to know that they are aware. And, and they're welcoming us. So I believe that the awakening is here as well.
I think the way it's being expressed is through what my wife has said, by them using their resources to welcome us, by coming up with plans to give land, to do whatever is going to make it easy for us to leave from where we are and come back to the land of promise. Yeah. So I believe it's very vibrant, and we can see it as evidence through what they're doing to help us on the ground.
Right.
Thank you for the gift, Brother Calvin. So have you all met any of the chiefs yet?
The Chiefs?
I haven't.
The Chiefs?
The Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, the Chiefs, yeah. Okay. I guess when y'all buy the land, you're going to have to, right?
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to probably come in contact with Chiefs more because we're dealing with them in terms of paperwork for the land directly. So I'm looking forward to it as well.
When you all do that, can you, sort of get their idea of, what they know historically about their heritage, history-wise, about who we are being Israel and things like that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So another question, and then I'm gonna ask you my final question. So this question has to deal with timing of end time events. Based upon what you see happening on the world scene, in combination with the awakening, in combination with the Rona that sort of stopped a lot of us from leaving. What do you sense in your spirit in terms of us getting out of here? I mean, do you see it being another 2, 3, 4, 10 years? Do you see it something right around the corner? What do you sense in your spirit and or biblical knowledge of the mass exodus?
Okay, I sense personally that we are right at the cusp of things ramping up. I also want to encourage everybody who seem like they can't get out to know that the Most High is going to make a way to get out. Do what you can. We started with what was in our control. You know, if you can get a passport, go ahead and get a passport. You may not need it. He may take you out without that, but just do the things that you know in faith, you know, that you are in control for. Prepare for it. You know, begin to prepare for leaving, you know, in any kind of way that you can, and don't just accept I'm stuck.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, the Most High helped us get out.
He really
and
did.
we made a decision to leave in September, and we left December the 3rd.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a lot of time to save a whole bunch of money. Wasn't a lot of time to get a whole bunch of things in place. We just sold what we had, you know, and we just said we trusted the Most High.
Yes.
And whatever we could handle, we handled that. And what we could not handle, we just trust him to do it.
Yeah.
And when I tell you every step of the way, he has provided for us. He has protected us. He has opened doors and he has closed doors.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage everybody to not give up. I believe we are right. This is happening right now.
Right.
It's time to get out the window.
I just want to say I saw one of the comments that just went off the screen about some of the things about the purging as well for some of the people that are here, and I think that that's a great point that I don't know who it was that said that to bring up, because you know, while we have all of the things that are happening over in the U.S., you know, when you come to the continent, even though we know that this is the land, there are also still some things, idolatry and all of the things that are happening here, that we're not naive to that, and we're definitely spiritually sensitive to that as well. So it's important for us to make sure that when we're dealing with people, we got to understand that everybody that we come in contact with are not believers of the Most High. So you'll find a lot of different things going on in
85% are Muslim.
Mm-hmm. And so that's something that we've been definitely praying about, and he's given us direction and even showing us how to navigate.
Yes.
As well.
Thanks for the gift, Nazarene.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that, I noticed, and I think we may have talked about this the last time you were on, a lot of people who come from the States, you know, who don't go over there as believers, end up getting into ancestor worship and all these type things. How would you all recommend, you know, that we reach them? Because as we all know, that desire they have to go back and separate themselves from the colonialists is prophetic, right? We know this is the move of the Most High, and that he's bringing us back, whether you believe or not, right? How do we reach them so that they can get to know his word, get to know him through his word and through his spirit? Because I mean, that ancestry worship and atheism seems to be strong for a lot of them who want to go back and who actually make it back to the continent.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be through unconventional ways. I think it's going to be in the marketplace, because you know, us as a people in us as a people have not really diversified, you know, and positioned ourselves to be used by Yah in the marketplace, you know. And so I believe the way that you get influence for somebody to even listen to you is to first stand on common ground with them. So I believe that, you know, some are going to be, you know, won through witnessing, starting out the gate. Some are going to be won through how we do business and operate in integrity. It's going to be done a lot of different ways, you know. And so I am reminded of a scripture in Romans chapter number 7 where it talks about the Most High putting a sleep on some, where they will have eyes, but they cannot see, and ears, but they cannot hear. So we have to understand that everybody's not going to hear and everybody's not going to see, but there will be opportunities. Like, we're not going around just trying to push what we believe on people. We're waiting strategically for opportunities to have those kind of conversations. And that's kind of how he's doing it.
Yeah, and I also believe that the scripture says that no man comes to the Father unless he draws, and there's a drawing as well. And so with us as representative of the Most High, I believe that people that we come in contact with, that opportunity will present itself. And because they'll be drawn to something, the light that's in us or the light that's in anybody that's a believer. When you come into the presence of somebody that needs your assistance in whatever way, whether that's through communication or through personal help or whatever it is, they'll see the light and they'll see that, something different about this person and what do they believe, and that be your opportunity. So that's part of the drawing. And I believe that that's what's happened as well, because even since we've been here, I've been able to talk and have conversations that most people will not even talk about because of, you don't want to touch on religion, or you don't want to talk about these things because of what people have said. You don't talk about religion, or you don't talk about politics when you go. And that hasn't been the case for me.
I wanted to say one more thing as well that I felt was very, very noteworthy of saying here. The Muslims, the Christians, and different people look at their ethnicity first and don't allow, like in the States, unlike in the States, they work with each other.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they believe, they know that they're brothers and sisters.
Right.
So they of course, we don't celebrate Christmas and those kinds of things, but Christmas time, the Christians and the Muslims are together here. Whereas, through propaganda, they tell us that, they're against each other, but they understand that they're brothers first.
Right.
And so I think coming on that common ground, we can have conversations to reveal what the truth is. Yeah. And people will be won to the kingdom of Yah.
So is it a matter of us, loving ourselves because we know we're family, right? We know we're the same people, and regardless of our belief system, to come together and love one another and work with one another. And through that, they get to know the Messiah through us. So, I mean, do you think that's the best way? So,
I think that's the best way, with love and kindness.
Yeah, exactly. So we wouldn't even be able to show the kindness and the love unless they get to know us, right? So we'd have to get to know each other first.
Absolutely.
And build a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Right. And
so let me ask.
We allow what we. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. There was a lag. Go ahead.
I think that. Yeah. As long as we allow what we believe versus what someone else believes to stop us from just loving and just connecting on a basic human level, brother and sister, we'll never get an opportunity to witness to anybody.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, that's one of the things I'm starting to learn, because, we're going to always have differences. But it's like, if we understand that, like, for instance, all of us literally are cousins, right? Literally. And, most of us belong to Judah, right? But then we got some of the other 12 tribes there, but we're all family. And, if we look at it that way, and, not a dysfunctional family, but a functional family, I think we can get along better. So how can the, the family here help you all for what you all are doing, and how can they contact you all, if they are able to help?
Well, we have a channel. We've been documenting our move from the States here. So the name of the channel is called Going Home with Erick and Nicole. And if they can help us through subscribing, through praying, through gifting, whatever the Most High lays on their heart, we are using every resource that we receive to accomplish this mission that He's laid on our heart to do. So if they want to subscribe, follow along with the journey, definitely pray. If they want to sow a seed, whatever it is that Yah directs them to do, we're willing to receive with humility.
And you can also, if you have questions or would like to know any information about, you know, coming to the Gambia, you can email us at erickandnicolem@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right. So thank y'all for coming on, Brother Eric and Sister Nicole, and you know, keep us up to date. And I'd like to have you all back, and maybe you all could come on together with Kenny and his wife, and you know, we could do this all together. That'd be fun.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having us. It's always a pleasure.
All right. All right. Thanks, family. Appreciate it. Love y'all with the love of the Messiah. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending.